Hey, what's going on? This is Ola coming to you live from my Empire Pro studios. It's just making sure that everything works fine. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's been a minute. If you're brand new here, today we're talking about A by V by 3C, the formula to success in digital age, digital marketing, digital smart real estate wholesaling. Speaking of smart real estate wholesaling, here's the book. Okay, you can grab it. Okay, uh, all you have to do, we do have a free version over there as well. Just go to smartrealestatewholesaling.com and grab your copy of this book. It's a 300 pages large print to make your life easy, make it easy for you to understand. You can take some notes on it and stuff like that. You can order the paperback as well. Just go to smartrealestatewholesaling.com. It's a book that you need to read 10 to 15 times in order to get a full grasp of what it takes to win in the wholesaling and digital marketing game in the digital age. Okay, so with that being said, we're gonna have some fun today. I got some really cool things I want to share with you with this formula, the A by V by 3C, that basically becomes a success you're looking for in this game. uh, these formulas I'm sharing with you is basically what I use to build each block on top of each other. And basically, with the way my personal business is set up, I don't have to work. Okay, I don't have to work. Money will still come in. Okay, and there's a lot of people coming into wholesaling as a business model, and basically what they're buying into is the idea they have to work over and over and over and over. They have to also, majority of them, even at that, they're still not going to make money. Okay, so with that being said, the formula I'm going to share with you is basically is another formula you can reference that you can use as a yardstick. You can use it as a, my business is struggling right now. I don't know exactly. Let me look at the formula. Let me see what part of these five elements am I missing. It's called the A by V by 3C's. There's 3C's. There's A and there's the V, right? And then you have five different elements that will become success for you. And as usual, I'm giving you a formula that you can use in any business. Of course, I'm going to be using wholesaling as the example here. I'm going to use wholesaling as a scapegoat here so you can fully understand what I mean. But it's honestly applicable to any type of business. Are we making sense? All right. So I'm gonna by the end of this session, by the end of this, it's a five-part series. So I'm gonna spend each session, which is basically throughout the course of this. This is part one of five, right? I'm going to spend each one talking about each one, right? So there's A, there's V, and there are 3C's, right? We're going to talk about the 3C's are separate different elements that you need in your business, okay? And if you don't have them, you will struggle. Your business will struggle. Your business will have leakages, okay? The first one, which is A, which is what I'm going to reveal to you during somewhere in the middle of the course of this session, right? That A element, right, is if you don't, I'm not going to wait until the end of the five-part series before I reveal the most important part of it for you. It's actually the most important part of all of this. Okay, it's the most important part of all of it. Okay, so for the most part, what you're going to find is you have people that come into this game. Some of them spend $40,000, okay, to join the game from through a guru or through a guru hotel seminar, something like that. And some of them spend 40,000 hours watching YouTube videos from from gurus, from people that don't charge a lot of money, but then they have a way to get you hooked on watching hours upon hours of video without being able to show anything for it. Basically, they're not giving you step by step executable steps that you can use to run the business. At the end of the day, this is a real business. Okay, so what that means is that transactions will need to happen at some point. Okay, so here's where a lot of people fail. Where a lot of people fail is that there's a lot of theoretical concepts. There's a lot of theory uh, that you have to learn. There's a learning curve. There are terminologies. There are professionals. There are professions. There are personnel that you have to deal with, from inspector to appraiser to lawyers to closing agents. There are all the different things, like a lot of a lot of just terminologies, just like technical terms, technical things that you have to, that at some point you will learn in this game. But the way this business is painted up for the most part is basically designed for you to is designed for you to try to learn everything up front. Okay, that's basically impossible. All right, that's just a fact of the matter. It's impossible to learn everything before you get started. It's impossible to learn everything there is to learn about the game in 1 year. It's impossible to learn everything, not even in 3 years. You're gonna continue to learn new stuff as you go through the game. It's just the way it works. And if you're not aware of that, what you're gonna do is you're gonna learn a new thing. You're gonna try to execute, learn a new thing, try to execute, and before you know it, you're not done. Like day five into it, you're not done executing what's on day five. But basically, you're at the mercy of having to execute all of these zillion things before you can make any money. And with that, that's not gonna work. Okay, that's not gonna work for you. For most people, it's not gonna work. It's just too much that you have to learn and try to execute on. For any normal human being, you're gonna get frustrated out of the business. Okay, so an example of what I'm talking about: have you ever know anybody in this game? Maybe it's you, right? You're trying to find a perfect logo. You're trying to find the perfect logo design, right, for the business. You're trying to come up with the best, perfect test, like a company name. Like, what's the right company name to use, right? And then you get stuck on that for another 5 days to 2 weeks, right? You know those people, right? Maybe that's you, right? And you're trying to figure out, so that's logo and then there's name, right? And then another one, I think, LLC, the right company structure, the right corporate structure. What is the right corporate structure? Should I do LLC? Should I do this business as just my name? Should I do it as an S corp, or a corporation, or a limited liability company, or a limited, or a PLC, whatever? And you're basically stuck on stuff that's not gonna make you money. All right. So, and I see that a lot. I see a lot of people stuck on just a bunch of nonsense that really has nothing to do um with making money in the game. Okay, because at the end of the day, you have to create revenue, and if you don't create revenue, basically you're setting yourself up for failure. You won't be able to serve more people. These are the things that you really have to pay attention to. What is the There are some pillars. If you don't know anything about, if you're brand new here, we teach something called the three pillars inside of this book, and we cover that in details inside of the book. You can go grab the copy of the book, right? So there's some pillar things that that without those things, there's no business, essentially. Like, for example, no leads, no business, right? No leads, no deals, right? Very, very simple. And yet you find people that basically roam around this industry. They go all around the YouTube channels trying to find the juiciest, newest way of doing things, the newest software. What's the hottest software? What's the software that can do things? And but in all of that, they tend to miss some of the most important aspects of the business. The most important aspect of the business is somewhere between three and seven. For the most part, there are 3 to 7 things that you can make sure that they're up and running on any given day, and then business will come in, even if you are not working. Even if you don't feel like working. And many people get lost in the textbook. There's a big book, right? One of the things I try to do inside of this book, Smart Real Estate Wholesaling, is to really bring it down to something simple. For the most part of it, I'm busy explaining the 3 pillars, each one of the pillars. So we're not talking about 3 pillars right now. This is just another form of the A by V by 3 C's, right? That's what we're talking about. But what I'm going to tell you is this, okay? Without the first one, which is A, which means attention, right? Without attention, your business will fail. Okay. When I say attention, right, we can divide that into all types of different places. So mark that at the mark 10 minutes mark, I revealed A to you. It's attention. You need to command attention. Now you have multiple different ways of attracting attention. Okay. And if you notice, I said attract attention. Okay. We're not looking for attention that you have to force. Okay. We're not looking for attention that you have to manhandle into doing business with you. We're looking for attraction. We're looking for attention that you attracted. Are we making sense here? So, and that's very, very important that we understand that. Okay. Attention. Okay. I see a lot of people around the industry. Many people are looking for joint ventures. Many people are looking for whatever. They're looking for cash buyers. They're looking for all these different things. And but their business doesn't have attention. Right? Your business does not have attention. That's the one single currency that you can figure out, and everything else will kind of like, not kind of, will fall in place. Okay. See, you can make all the mistakes in the world when you have enough attention in your business. When you learn how to attract as many attention as possible, keyword being attracting, but also attention, right? You can make all the mistakes. So let me give an example. Okay. So for example, you're able to have 100 people call your line every day looking to sell you a property or looking to see if you will make an offer on their property. Somehow you've created attention in the marketplace. That thing is catching attention. Okay. Somehow you are attracting attention in the marketplace. I don't know. Maybe you have a message out there that says we buy houses in a few different places. Maybe about 25,000 people saw that today, right? And a few of those people called you and they are now buzzing up your phone, right? So you can make a mistake. 25 people every day, exposed to 25,000 people. So another way you can look at it is exposure, right? Attention, exposure. So we can use that synonymously in this lesson, right? If 25,000 people saw the message directly from you, it says from John or from Ola, right? And it says, I buy houses. John buy houses. Ola buy houses, right? And 25,000 people saw it, and only 25 of those people picked up the line and called you and say, hey, I do have this property at 123 Main Street. And then, you screwed up. Somehow, somewhere you said the wrong thing. You got off the phone with that person. Here's the good thing about having attention and learning how to attract it on a daily basis, autopilot, right? The beauty about that is that another set of 25 people will come in tomorrow. Another set of 25,000 people will see tomorrow. Another set of 25 people will pick up the phone and call you tomorrow. Maybe that number is 50 tomorrow. Maybe that number is 10 tomorrow. The bottom line is that you have consistently out there marketing message that commands, that attracts attention to you. Okay. So now if you're busy, if you're looking for, in wholesaling, for example, you kind of like sell two different things. You have to have like two different types of sales funnel, right? There's one sales funnel for people that are looking to sell a house. There's another sales funnel for people that are looking to buy a house. We'll call them cash buyers, right? Or motivated sellers. You know, cash buyers, I took that a little bit. Let's just call that buyers. As long as it's real cash that will show in your bank account, it doesn't matter. So they could use hard money, they could use a regular mortgage, as long as they qualify and they can close the deal, right? We're not talking about pre-qualification. We're just talking about you have two sales funnels, right? One is attracting cash buyers. Okay, I keep saying cash buyers, but I mean buyer. Okay, all of it is cash, right? So let's just call it cash buyer, right? One is attracting cash buyer. The other one is attracting motivated sellers, right? Not sellers, okay? Not sellers that has motivations, okay? The motive could be money. That's not good enough. We need a little bit more than just wanting to make money to sell the property, right? In motivation. So you need motivated seller. A motivated seller is somebody who says, I need to get rid of this property. It's a piece of crap. You buy ugly houses? Okay, please, can you take away this house away from me? What do I need to sign? Where do I need to sign? That's a motivated seller. So you need a funnel that's attracting that. Okay. How do you build a funnel that's attracting that? All of that funnel, the very tip of the end of that funnel is basically you put out a marketing message that's attracting attention. Okay. So Dan Kennedy has the three M's, right? You have the media, you have the message, and you have the market, right? The market are the people you're targeting. The media is how you're targeting them. Is it the phone? Is it the internet? Is it direct mail? Whatever that is, right? And then the message is we buy houses. That's one funnel right there. That's a sales funnel right there. So there's three steps. I mean, there are three elements in that. There's three M's: the market, the media, the message, right? But on the other side of your business as a wholesaler, you have two funnels that has to be functioning at any point in time, right? You have you're trying to attract cash buyers. What do I mean by cash buyers? We're trying to attract investors, period. Okay? People that are attracted to the idea of buying a piece of real estate for the very purpose of creating profit and building wealth. That's the people you're looking to talk to. Okay. And I know many people that will say, hey, you just need 100 people on that list. That's a lie. Okay. Or you don't need more than 5 people. Just go to your local real estate investors association. That's a lie too. You need, how many do you need? As many as humanly possible. It needs to be a ever perpetually growing list of investors. That's the key. Okay. It needs to be a ever growing, perpetual growing list of investors. Okay. So how do I grow mine? There's another book that I do give you for free here. It's called Real Estate Money Secrets. I simply just give away that book for free. Okay. So if you want to write a special report, a special something, or special book, a book or something like that, and you want to give it away for free, just put something together. How do you get what to put together? Where you're here, you're investing time in learning this. What you're learning, share it. You can share it in the form of a PDF. You put it together, you give it away for free in exchange for people's email address, contact information. You build that list. Now, when you do have properties to sell, you send that same property to that list. That's how you build a list. But the key thing I'm mentioning here is that that's another sales funnel right there. In the midst of all of this, there's something that's common among all of this, right? Obviously, I talk about, or the other side, I talked about the three M's earlier, right? The three M's is also applicable here. What's the message here? The message here is financial freedom. With buy your first real estate property, financial freedom, something like that. It could be how to buy your first investment property for financial freedom, something simple. Mine is simply real estate money secret. Anyone who wants money secret from real estate basically will pick up a book, they end up on that list, and those are my potential investors. Okay. uh, could they possibly not have enough money to do cash deals? Yes. I'm going to tell you, people that don't have money, cash to do deals, they are the one that's most likely going to make you the most money. Okay. That's something that no one else is sharing again, too. The people that will pay you the most money for the properties that you find from this other end of the motivated seller, right? The people that will pay you the most money are people that are not, the richest people in the world who have cash to do deals. So you hear a lot of time, I'm a cash buyer. That's not necessarily always a good thing because you're a cash buyer. Because you're a cash buyer, to me, for the most part, sound like you're going to pay the lowest amount of money I could possibly get for a piece of property. Okay. So could that mean I could make money and still do deals with cash buyers? Of course. But I'm just saying, if everything else were equal and I have to pick between a cash buyer and a person using a hard money or some kind of loan, I always 100% of the time I get my money, okay, from the person using a loan because they're not too particular about how much profit they have to make. They just want to make some profit. And if we do volume like that, then we're in business, right? All right. So with that being said, all you need investors. The investors are the market. Okay. Where do people hang out? Investors on the internet. You need to be there to capture their attention. Remember, today is about the A. We're talking about the A element of this business. If you just understand, you figure out, master how to attract people, right? Get people's attention, right? You can make all the other mistakes. You can make as many mistakes as you want, as long as you're attracting these people on a daily basis. Basically, what you will learn is how to serve them better. Okay. Hey, I said the wrong thing. They hung up on me. I know what not to say tomorrow. I can make that mistake over and over, and then I'll be able to structure a business that actually works because I have mastered how to attract attention. Okay. Two A's: master attraction of attention. Okay. So now, attracting attention in this time and age is not necessarily the easiest thing to do. Okay. But I'm going to get back to that. Let me just do a quick recap of what we just covered. There are two sales funnels that you're going to have as a smart, not as a regular good old seller who is driving for dollars. I'm not talking to you if you believe in driving for dollars by yourself. If that's what you believed in, good luck. I'm talking to people that understand that this is a digital age and you can build a business a lot more faster, a lot more efficiently, right? A lot more effectively, and you understand leverage, okay? Those are the people I'm talking to. There are two sales funnel that you have to have in place that has to be working concurrently. One is to attract the attention of motivated sellers. Very simple. The other one is to attract the attention of investors, newbie investors, as many investors. Newbie, cash buyer, savvy, been in the game for 30 years, doesn't matter. Don't put anyone on a pedestal. Treat everyone with respect. They all end up in the same funnel. How do I build that? I give them a free book in exchange for their contact information. Very, very simple. If you are a cash buyer investor or a hard money lending investor, you're trying to get on my list, it's very simple. Just go to realestatemoneysecrets.com. You get on that list. You get all the properties I have for sale or that people in my network have for sale, right? On the other hand, I kind of like do something similar, okay? Motivated seller, it's a little bit different. Simply, I put enough marketing message out there. I buy houses. All I buy houses. I buy ugly houses, okay? I keep it simple. Pick up a phone, call me. Leave a voicemail, I'll call you back if it sounds like a deal. Very simple. Those are the two sales funnel we keep simple. We got to keep those running concurrently. Okay. If you keep that running concurrently, you're in business and you have consistency. All right. Now let's go back to attention. Okay. Attention, right? Attention is one of the hardest things as we move further and further into civilized age, right? It's actually where the money is. Okay. And entrepreneurship or building a business is hard. um it's simple, but it's hard because of our mindset, because of some of the because of some of the like there's some things that we learn that we need to unlearn, just in general as human beings. Okay, so for example, if somebody taught you that you should drive for dollars and you're stuck on that, and you're not thinking of it at the enterprise level, how can I leverage time? All right. That's the normal thing, but those kind of mindset will keep you stuck. Will actually, basically, you're bringing a job mindset into entrepreneurship, and it just doesn't work. Okay, because it's not about your ability to be able to invest time. It's about your ability to be able to get resourceful and be able to extract resources out of no resources, and be able to extract money even when this almost seems like it's impossible, right? Being able to do that takes leverage and being resourceful. Resourceful means there's no resources, but you figured it out. You made it happen. You came up with the resources you needed, and you understand that you can replace money all day long, but you cannot replace time. So the worst thing you can do is spend your time on activities that you can't account for. Okay. uh, if you're having fun in the summertime in Florida, you still want to be able to account for that and say this was family time. But for most human beings, they they don't do that. They just kind of like roll with the punches with the time, and then by the time they're 55 years old, they're like, wait, where did the time go? The time went exactly where you put it, nowhere. So but you've lost time, and when you lose time, you can't make money back. So attracting attention can seem like a very daunting task. Okay, first of all, with the internet age, with the digital age, with things moving so fast, right? um it's very, how do I explain this? With things moving so fast, attention span is at all-time low. Okay, if you don't capture people's attention, right? One way or the other, you can capture it vertically or you can capture horizontally. Okay. Vertically means you understand that you may not capture so many people's attention today, but you have pieces in place to capture so many people's attention over time. Okay. An example is what I'm doing right now. Okay. I don't, on this channel, I don't attract a lot of views, but I attract quality views, people that want to learn the game for real, right? And those people who stick, they tend to stick around a little bit more longer. But for the most part, across board, not just my channel, but across board, the media platform, either attention span is at all time low. In other words, when you call people on the phone, unannounced, right? They they don't pick up. They won't pick up. You can text them. There's still a very high attention span on the text message. But if you text message something to them and it doesn't seem like something that resonates with what they want right now today in their space that they're in life right now, they're gonna ignore your text, okay, for until whatever, and they're gonna tell you, hey, I forgot to reply your text yesterday. Well, they didn't really forget. It just wasn't something that was on the top of their priority list. Okay. It's the same thing with a phone call. It's the same thing with the internet, right? You see on your feed on Facebook, you see all those different feeds, people just posting stuff. So there's oversupply of stuff that's trying to capture attention. So when there's oversupply of stuff that's trying to capture attention, the demand, uh, the the value of any piece of message out there kind of declines automatically. Okay. Here's another example, right? Direct mailing, which is when you send letters to a pre-foreclosure list, a tax delinquent list, or a probate list, right? The fear of competition is a real thing, and you should be afraid, especially if you don't learn marketing properly. You have to learn properly marketing across vertical and horizontal. You need to understand how it works. Because if you don't, then you'll be at the mercy of all those different variables I'm talking about right now. So, direct mailing, right? Direct mailing, you have all these people trying to send mail to the same house, right? Because that same house is on the list of pre foreclosure, and there's about 1,000 people trying to be wholesalers in your neighborhood trying to send letters to the same place, right? So now all those letters shows up, about 500 letters shows up at the same time, maybe 1,000, maybe 100, right? If they show up in the inbox like that, suddenly, instantly, the value of each of those letters declines in the mind of the person that's receiving those letters. Okay, so just think about it, right? You walked up to your mailbox, right? And you see a bunch of junk. That's why we call them junk. They're valueless, okay? Because it's everybody trying to capture attention. But if you go to your mailbox and you see those two letters, clearly those two letters or pieces of mail are trying to capture your attention to get a new credit card. But because there are only two of them, you took the time to open it and to see what they say, right? But if you get that same letter and you get them like 40 of them at the same time, you're just gonna sort through like that because that automatically tells your brain that there's something wrong here. There's no value in any of these letters. We're talking attention. Keep in mind, right? And basically, what you're gonna do is sort through them, right? If anything looks like you kind of put them on the side, based on what it looks like, you're gonna put that, and you're gonna take a chunk of them and you're gonna put them in the garbage, right? That's how it works. Oversupply of attention, oversupply of marketing message results in decline of the value of each marketing message. So now that means you and I, as a marketer, which is primarily what you are as a wholesaler, you have to do a little bit of harder work at capturing attention. Okay, so attention span is at an all-time low, and because of that, you have to do we have to do a little bit more work on capturing attention. Sometimes you got to make things colorful, sometimes you have to reduce the color, and then it goes in cycles like that, and you don't know, that you're kind of like stuck. You don't know where to go if you don't understand marketing as an integral piece of this whole thing. So all of that, the unit of marketing is attention. That's what you're trading. Okay, that's the currency, and you have to learn how to capture attention. You're trying to capture two people's attention when it comes to real estate wholesaling. You're trying to capture attention of a motivated seller. Okay, so how do you do that? That's a step beyond the scope of this lesson, and then you're trying to capture the the attention of potential investors, okay, people that are interested in investing. Now, investors, right? As far as investors are concerned, uh, all right. So, um, the when it comes to investors, the best type of people to target are people that you want to target and get their attention are people that are already searching, people that are already looking, people that are already interested in the idea of investing in real estate. There's tons of them out there. There's millions of them on Facebook. Uh, there are thousands of them, and of course, some of them are at the local real estate meetup, right? But here's the problem with just depending on the local real estate REA meetings, right? There's only a few of them, okay? And you don't want to be at the mercy of any one individual, a one party, a one person event, think, place, things. Like they said, noun is the name of a animal, place, or thing, right? People, animal, place, or thing, right? So animal, people, animal, place, or thing. You don't want to be at the mercy of any one of those things, okay? Anyone. You want to be able to have options, okay? And that's a message I always have to keep pounding. So if you're capturing attention, you want to be able to capture attention in bulk, and then have a system in place that filters down, that kind of like that filters out that. Hold on one second. All right. So you want to have options when it comes to those things, and you want to you want, if one thing shut down, you're able to capture the other thing, okay? You want to have a pipeline, okay? So when it comes to motivated seller, you don't want to be at the mercy of that one motivated seller, right? You want to have a ton of them coming in any given day. When it comes to investors, the same thing. So when you do have a contract from a motivated seller, right? You have a house under contract. It's time to sell that contract. You want to be able to send it to a few people so that the few people will tell you if they're interested or not. But if you're sending it to just that one guy, because that one guy told you, I'm the player in the game, just send me your properties, right? If you want to send it to that one guy, sure. But here's the thing: when that guy says no, you're stuck. Okay, and that's what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to avoid that you don't get stuck. So attention, 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 attention. That's what it comes down to. If you can put out a compelling marketing message, okay, to a targeted marketing message, to a compelling marketing message to a targeted market, right? Okay, and you can do that consistently, then you will win in this game. Period. That's it. So even you're attracting all this attention and you're doing the wrong thing, and you're learning. You're still learning. You're collecting data. Essentially, what you're doing, you're collecting data. You're learning what not to do, and you're learning what to do more of. That's what it comes down to. Okay. So if you can do that, you win in this game all the time. Someone says, I found two properties. Both sellers said they don't want to tie up their property with a contract. But how can I find a buyer without risking them stealing the deal? All right. So that's a classic example of what I'm talking about. Okay. We're talking about having options. Okay. In order to have options, you got to be able to put out a lot of marketing message to a big targeted market, and the ones that are attracted to you will not ask you. There's certain type of questions that won't come from that. If you understand that this is a machine that's bringing in attention, that's putting out a marketing message to attract attention, okay, marketing message compelling enough to attract attention. When people see that attention, like for example, you put a message out there that says, I buy ugly houses, and the person is now saying they don't want to tie up their property with the contract. That's clearly not a motivated seller, okay? That's not a motivated seller. Okay. If you put out attention, enough attention, not attention. If you're attracting enough attention because you put out a lot of marketing message, when you put out marketing message at a targeted market and you do that in mass, you will attract attention. Okay. But you will attract quality attention. That's the key thing here. You need to attract quality attention. That means somebody that your marketing message, we buy ugly houses, has resonated with. They've realized they have an ugly house. Okay. Now, somebody may have a pretty house and they may call you and say, "Hey, do you buy pretty houses too? I have a house that nothing is wrong with it." I was like, "Okay, why do you want to sell? Why do you want to sell?" It's the first thing that comes to my mind. Motivation. I need to know why. I need to know why. Just like you need to know your why. I need to know their why. And why would they want to sell to me? Why did you call my number trying to sell to me? Why? Essentially, I'm trying to find out why are you so desperate you have to call a number to try to sell. How soon do you need to sell? That's another way I'm going to measure if you need to sell. Because if you say, no, I don't need to sell right away, like, okay, why don't we try to get you the most money? Is that what you want? You want to make some good money? Then we're going to focus on that. Okay. We're going to focus on your motivation, but I'm not going to waste too much energy on that. We're just going to focus on your motivation. However, I'm probably not going to waste any energy on any one of them, okay? Because again, I have options. I have a pipeline that's attracting attention to me from time to time. If you capture attention and you capture them into a pipeline and they're coming into your game every day, you can make all the other mistakes. You can put the wrong LLC name. You can create the wrong LLC name. You can design the wrong logo. You can create the wrong website address. You can do all these other things wrong that you're focused on, that you've been wasting your energy on. You can do all those things wrong, but because you're capturing attention every single day, you will close deals. It's a fact. Okay. So you could do the most perfect logo, the most perfect domain name, website address, LLC name, the right structure of corporate structure. You do all those things right, right? And you could stay broke for the rest of your career in real estate, or you could learn how to attract as many attention as you can humanly attract, like as many into your pipeline, right? And you can make mistakes even at attracting, as long as you're attracting it, and you will still close deals. That's how important A is. Attention, attracting attention. That's how important it is. So for this person that found two properties, both sellers, okay, so basically he found two properties. That's two properties. He's at the mercy of two properties. And these two sellers are basically his boss right now. They're controlling his life. They're controlling the next few days because he thinks he may be able to close a deal. And from what I'm seeing, it's very likely he will not close a deal. Very likely he's not going to close a deal, period. Okay. And because why? Because these sellers are afraid of tying up their property under contract. That is not a motivated seller. You should say, you're afraid of tying up the properties. You want to sell, right? Well, we have to have it under contract, right? You need to. That's not even an objection. That's just the wrong target market. Okay, that's not an objection. Okay, so how can I find a buyer without risking them stealing the deal? You should not be finding a buyer for a property you don't have under contract. So you shouldn't, okay? But the problem here is not the finding the buyer. The problem here is not the type of property. The problem here is not the sellers. The problem here is this particular wholesaler who doesn't realize that they are a marketer, who doesn't realize he or she is a marketer and should be attracting mass attention in any given day into a pipeline, and you should be doing more sorting than try to sell. If you have to sell somebody on signing a contract to have a property on the contract, that is the wrong target market. What is wrong is not the wrong target market. What is wrong is that you're not having enough attention in your business. If you have enough of the right pre-qualified attention coming into your business, right? You wouldn't, you would just focus on those ones, right? If you have, let's say for example, you have 50 in last month, you have 50 motivated, quote unquote motivated, but you figure that, oh, okay, about 30 of them, they don't want to tie up their property under contract, right? But 20 of them actually don't care, right? They just want to get rid of the property. uh Maybe not 20, maybe five, right? Out of the 50, right? Yeah, what do I sign? Yeah, how soon can you close? We can close in 7 to 10 days. Okay, here's what I sign. Just do whatever you got to do. I just need to get rid of it so I don't have to worry about it. I'm moving to Florida, right? Motivation, motivated, right? And but that's not going to happen if you don't have enough, if you're not attracting enough attention in your business. Okay, that's not going to happen. What's going to seem to happen is you're going to keep attracting these sellers that are not real sellers. Okay, the people looking to test the water, they're trying to see if you're actually going to buy, and potentially they're looking for full price. Those are the kind of people you're probably going to be attracting, and it's not going to work well for you. Okay. All right. So that's very, very important here. Okay. So let me see here. Now we're talking attention. Just keep in mind we're talking about attention. Okay. We're talking about the first element in this formula. A by V by three C's. It's a five-part series, and I can't stress it enough. If you just master attracting enough attention into your business, you will win in this game because by default you're collecting data. Chapter 3 of this book is about data collection. If you're not collecting data, you will lose in this game. So when I say data collection, it's directly proportional to how much attention you're commanding in your business. Okay. Somebody says, help, just learned a valuable lesson about qualifying cash buyers. At any rate, my buyer just backed out on my first deal and closing is scheduled for Friday. He actually completed the paperwork for the title company, but wouldn't sign my assignment contract or submit earnest money deposit. I'm not quite ready to throw in the towel. The property is 3 hours away from where I live. I've marketed this deal on Facebook Marketplace, buy and sell groups, local REA meetup websites, connected investors, cash buyer Facebook groups, Craigslist, any other suggestion how to find a buyer that can close in 4 days. oh, hey, yeah, 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 yeah. All right. That's a good question, actually. All right. So it's very, I'm going to throw in questions and answers as we go through the series. Just keep in mind, I'll keep doing that. Let's see here. Before I answer this question, let me just check out something real quick. Let's see. All right, great. All right. So I'm glad that this person said they've learned a valuable lesson. Okay. Qualifying cash buyers. The first step is, first of all, earnest money deposit is a must. Okay. At least $1,000, but I always ask for $5,000 first. Okay. Now, why is it that I have the confidence, the audacity to be able to ask for $5,000 in deposit? It doesn't matter if the house is $10,000. I need $5,000 deposit, period. Okay. Why is it that I have the audacity to ask for that? It's because I have enough attention in my business. Sometimes I call it options, right? I have options. And I can say, well, you don't have to have $5,000. This house is not for you. I got to go. Get off the phone. Keep it moving. Okay. Um, is there any scenario where I would just let it slide? You know, if there's a particular property that I feel like I don't have much options on, usually it's because I have other properties. Meaning, when it comes to properties as a thing, I have options. I have other properties that I'm working with. Okay. So the key thing here is to have options. But when it comes to the people's aspect of the three pillars, you got to have enough attention in your pipeline at all times. Okay. So, but when you don't, then what happens is that you engage your emotions in a contract with a person that has not even put their money where their mouth is. In other words, there was no existing contract. Okay. The contract wasn't, wherever they signed, wherever they were signing with, the title company was not binding. That's one thing. Okay. Then I always ask people to put earnest money deposit with the title company on our side, the closing agent on our side. The closing agent doesn't have to do the due diligence like the title work or anything like that. But as far as being an agent, we have an agent, a closing agent on our side, and they must hold the non-refundable $5,000 earnest money deposit. Do I bend the rule sometimes down to $1,000? Yes, I do. If a house seems like it's sitting there for too long, I still have to have $1,000. That's non-refundable that they will absolutely lose if they back out. And the reason, that's the very specific reason why we make sure that earnest money deposit is sent overnight or put with our closing agent, not the other side, not their side of the closing agent. So that's one thing right there. Attention. Because even towards the end of this question, you will see what I mean by attention. But let's keep going here for a second. All right, my buyer just backed out on my first deal, and closing is scheduled for Friday. Friday is 4 days away. He actually completed the paperwork for the title company. Yeah, people fill out paperwork all the time. And to be fair to that buyer, maybe they're a newbie. If somebody is a newbie, you have to make sure uh, that you are in absolute control of the deal. Okay, but you don't want to tell them control. You just want to be guiding them. Okay, you want to be guiding them. So there's a step by step. If you don't remember the step, write them out. The first step is you're gonna write a check of a non-refundable earnest money deposit to ABC Title Agency of the United States of America. All right, where's the check? Okay, you have it. Okay, do you want to drop it off or you want to give it to me? I'll drop it off. We'll put it in the account. It's written to the title company escrow account, so there's no worries about. I'm not keeping it in my pocket. There's a licensed title company that will keep it, right? But the key thing I'm saying here is to guide them step by step. If they don't want to follow your lead, you have other people that this property has attracted attention from. Okay, you just tell them, sorry, this house is not for you. And you say that, and it's coming from the heart and the head at the same time, because you have that confidence that you have enough attention in your business. You know how to market. Okay, you know how to get this property out to the right people that will bite on it. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing I should probably point out is that if this wasn't a deal, if a deal is not a deal, a lot of time it will attract newbie people that are not savvy in the business, and then they will figure out that they can't really do the deal. Eventually they would have wasted your time. That's why you don't want to be inflating numbers when it comes to learning how to. You have, it's a given. You have to learn how to create ARV. You have to learn how to come up with the right after repair value, after rehab value of a property. All right. So let's keep going here. So he actually completed paperwork. Okay, but wouldn't sign my assignment contract or submit EMD. So first of all, we shouldn't be talking about assignment contract outside of the actual contract. Okay. All right. Assignment contract is somebody basically saying that, hey, you're about to make 30 grand off of me, and I'm going to get greedy right now and not do this deal. That's a possibility. That's possible. Okay. However, I doubt if that's the real issue. Okay. The real issue is what you said so far. Um, well, no, what I've said so far, which is you don't have enough attention coming into your game. You don't have enough people you can share this property with. And I think you mentioned that towards the end here. But part of the issue is also you are basically emotionally engaged with the deal that's attached to a non-qualified buyer. Okay, the same thing can happen on a motivated seller side. I mean, the example we gave earlier is somebody basically saying they don't want to go under contract. Here's another example of don't want to go under contract. The question is, why are you having conversations with people that don't want to go under contract? Right? Why are you having conversations? Why are you engaged with people that don't want to sign the contract of the deal that they supposedly want? Right? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, that's not making any sense. All right, it's not making any sense, but it makes sense to me. It sounds to me that you don't have enough attention coming into your business. You're not attracting enough attention. That's what it sounds like to me. Okay, so it goes. I'm not quite ready to throw in the towel. Well, it's not about throwing in the towel. You're at the mercy of the marketplace. Your marketplace is one person, which means you don't really have a market. Okay, because no one person can make up a market. It has to be an array of people, okay, before you can call it market. Okay, so the market is always right. If the market's already throwing the towel, it's not up to you. Okay, the property is 3 hours away from where I live. I marketed this deal and everywhere, I guess. Any suggestion on how to? Well, if you market it everywhere and it's not biting, no one is interested, there's a good chance it's not a deal. Okay, like I said, the scope of this particular training is to really tell you that you're stuck in there because you don't have enough attention in your business. Okay, but we're in wholesaling. Let's talk about it, right? It's okay. You don't have a deal. Okay, you don't have a deal, But another thing I'm going to tell you right now is you market in all these different places, connected investors, local REA, buy and sell groups, Facebook. I use all those things too, but I don't depend on them. And I don't use them unless I'm using them to build my list. Am I making sense? Okay. So, in other words, before somebody can see full details about any property that I have, they are on my list, which means I'm perpetually building my list. And so you can get on my list and you may not even be interested in the property that got you on the list eventually, but you're still on my list. And basically, like that, we're sharing it. Okay. And that's very, very important for what we do. You need to understand that. You need to understand that this is a game of numbers. It's about numbers. There's a certain mindset you gotta have, okay, to make this work for you. There's a certain mindset, of course, but it's a numbers game. You gotta build a massive bias list, and you gotta have a massive, not massive, but something that's always rolling, that's attracting attention to you from motivated sellers. Motivated sellers are not necessarily people you can build a list of, because they either have a house or they don't have a house. They may have other people that have a house that can refer other people to you, but you got to put a marketing message with a call to action in front of them right away and say, hey, you have a property to get rid of it, give me a call. That's really how that part of the sales funnels work. Okay. That's why sometimes I'm not really a big fan of, let's build a list of a motivated seller. It's either they're interested, they're not interested. However, you can have a list of their phone numbers where you follow up with them every 3 months, but it's a little bit more hands on. But on the buyer side of things, you absolutely should not be dealing with a buyer that doesn't want to sign an assignment contract. Okay. Now, if they don't want to sign because they've seen how much money you're going to make, they already see how much money you're going to make. So you can't solve that problem by saying, hey, I'm going to do double closing. No, that's not going to work. They already know how much you're going to make. Okay. So you can't solve that problem with that. What you can do is, as you move into the future, which you should be open to moving into the future, it's easier to be open to moving to the future when you're attracting enough attention. Because keep in mind, I told you that as you're attracting all of this attention, right? The key thing is you want to be able to get rid of any people, animal, place, or thing. Okay, you want to be able to get rid of them if they're not going accordingly with what you want. Okay, because the key thing here is we lead with value. That's the first core pillar that I described in this book. We lead with value already, so it should be something before you respond to my marketing message. Before I caught your attention, it should have been value that you saw. So I'm already giving you value, but I have a protocol of how you're going to follow through this, right? And the protocol is legal, it's ethical. You're going to follow through like this way, in this direction, and it's designed to protect both of our times, right? And if you can't do that, there's no hard feelings. Please just move over to that side so I can deal with this next person that's on my list, that also I caught their attention, but they're kind of on a waiting list. You want to have a waiting list. You want to have a list where you can send people to, but not just that. You can be at the mercy of one property. You should be sending other properties as well too. You should have other deals that's going on at the same time, because some deals will look like a deal up front. They just are not deals, right? And you find out because the market told you that it's not a deal, and you have to be ready for that. The way you're going to be ready for that is to have a pipeline. You have to have a pipeline of leads, both motivated sellers and investors coming in all day long, consistently, like a machine, right? You have to have that. If you don't have that, you'll be at the mercy of these types of problems. Okay. So, any suggestion on how to find a buyer that can close in 4 days? You are now at the mercy of 4 days. You should never be in a position where you feel desperate, ever. Okay. If you're in a position where you feel desperate, your confidence level declines automatically. It's just life, it's just psychology, it's just the way it works. Okay. Your confidence level declines. And when your confidence level declines, everyone else can see that. Basically, you're in a bad negotiation space. Okay. And people are going to take advantage of you if you come into the market and I'm desperate. If you do that, people are going to take advantage of you. Okay. You should be in a place where it doesn't matter if I do this deal or not. Oh, what happens if I couldn't close the deal? I'm under contract. The contract says I must close in 4 days. You renegotiate. You go back and say, I couldn't, my partner backed out. There's some issues with the numbers. Uh, We need to renegotiate. Okay. Remember that the seller just want to sell. If you're talking to a motivated seller, they just want to sell. That's it. Okay. That's all they want. They don't want to file lawsuits. They don't want to go into litigation. They just want to get rid of it. Property. Okay. Now, if you're dealing with somebody that says, you know what? You told me you were going to close this deal, but you backed out, you can't do the deal, I'm going to sue you. If you're dealing with a person, you can't tell me you didn't see that from day one. You should not be dealing with nasty people, motivated seller, investor or not. You should not be dealing with nasty people, negative energy people. You should be looking to always get rid of negative people as fast as humanly possible. How do you do that? You focus on what they want. They usually don't want to do business with you. They usually involve a lot of selling. Don't try to sell too hard. A little bit of selling skills can help. It's not called selling skills. It's called negotiation skills. It's called persuasion skills, right? It's different from selling people hard. See, persuasion is used on people that already kind of want to do business with you. They're kind of on the fence, a little bit of objection, and you're just basically saying, you know, I'm the guy. I can get the job done, right? That's all you're saying. A person you have to hard sell is a person that's like, I don't know, man. You don't know? Let me know when you do know. That should be your attitude. That's the confidence you should bring to the play to that you should bring to the playing field all the time. Okay? Because people will respect you. There will still be a win-win for everyone. It will still be a win-win for everyone, but they will respect you and they will do business in a way that favors every party involved. But if you don't get that, then you're at the mercy. The key thing here is that you're at the mercy of any single individuals. It doesn't work. You know, it doesn't work. You gotta have confidence. You gotta come to the table with a lot of options. You gotta understand that you have options, okay? And just keep your options open and be nice. Don't put any one individual, a person, place, thing, animal, don't put them on a pedestal because they will fall off. They're not God. They're gonna fall off. Things will happen. So because of that, you must have options. So somebody is not gonna put an EMD and they want to sign a contract. You shouldn't be engaged in that with them. And I have had example of people that try to play games with me. They don't put the earnest money deposit and they start sending inspectors to make sure that the deal is good before they do deal. I don't care if they do that. They want access. They want to take an inspector. I don't care. The only thing is I'm not taking the property off the market. Okay, I'm still letting other people know about the property. So in other words, you're replaceable. Okay, so I'm not saying that you can't do deals. I'm just saying I'm talking about as a buyer now. Okay, as a buyer, they signed the contract, but they haven't put the EMD in place. You may say, "Oh, why didn't you collect the EMD first?" Like I said, I'm not at the mercy of any one little ideology or anything like that. I'm doing business. I keep options open. Period. If you don't put an EMD in place, whatever contract you signed is not binding. The property stays on the market. We keep marketing until we find until we have a binding contract, which means there's a EMD. It's called consideration, right, in place, and then we'll do deals, right? If you start playing games, what I want to make sure is that you don't waste my time. Okay, so I'm not the one opening the door for you for an inspector, so I'm not going to worry about it. But I'm going to keep marketing the house. Okay, if the house is a good deal, like good deal, it will get scooped up before anybody else will scoop it anyway, before they waste my time. If the deal is not good enough, meaning the motivated seller were not really coming to my numbers. My number was $30,000. But they want a 60. The house is worth 120. It needs a lot of work, but I said, you know what? Let me just put it under contract anyway. Let me see if somebody will buy it, right? So it's not really a good deal in the first place, but I still have it under contract that says it's an option to purchase. I can decide to exercise or not. All right. So the key thing here is not any given ideology. It's keeping my options open. You cannot have your options open if you don't have attention, if you don't have a lot of attention coming into a pipeline. Okay, so that's the first part of the first series of this 5-part series. Attention. You need attention. You need a lot of attention. You need lots of it. You need lots of it, like likes, like whatever you want, however way you're gonna get attentions, right? People sharing. So with that being said, please make sure you share this video with anybody that you feel will find it valuable. Smart Real Estate Wholesaling. Go get your copy. Smart Real Estate Wholesaling. Go get your copy. It's available for free on audible.com as an audiobook. If you want to listen on audiobook, go cap it. Um, it's available everywhere, Amazon everywhere. But just go to smartrealestatewholesaling.com. That's the best place to get it, because I'll give you some other things that comes with it. Some other bonuses as well too that comes with it. So let me see. I think that was a good one. We're gonna be back here at 2 p.m. God willing. 2 p.m. tomorrow, covering this. Watch this video again. You have to watch this video multiple times to get a full grasp of it. Okay, I have over 60 videos here. No, actually more. Okay, over 600 videos. I was thinking about another channel. Okay, so I have over 600 on this channel. So watch other videos that will help you. I do have a bonus called the 22K formula on the inside. It's called the $22,000 per month formula. So just simply go through smartrealestatewholesaling.com to take advantage of that. All right. I'll see you on the next one, and peace.